Redneck Garage. I'm out here drinking a little coffee this morning. A little nip in the air, which is good. Standing out here with my Toyota van. If you need a Toyota van for cheap, about 500 bucks, you could drive this thing away from the Redneck Garage. Yeah, and it does drive. So let me know on that. We're working on the Honda again today, but first I wanted to talk about a sad occurrence that happened. And if you remember my neighbor Tim, here's a couple little clips. So I got on my neighbor Tim because his house looks like crap. What do you think your house looks like? I'm having to look at this every day when I leave my house, Tim. It's terrible. What? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get mad at you. Say something.
Are you gonna put an engine block back in that Jeep?
No, I'm never gonna do that.
When are you gonna get
Hey, shut up! Don't look at it. Don't look over here.
This is in my yard.
Look away.
When are you gonna get this out of
Look
my yard?
away. Look away. No. Okay. Yeah, poor Tim. I finally ran him off. Here's a clip. Okay, we did it. We ran Tim off. Got him to sell his house, forced him to move out. So anyway, Tim and Melissa, they had us over for dinner at their new house, and that was cool. Here's my new neighbor, AJ. Okay, so after we ran Tim off, sorry Tim, if you're watching this, you're gone. Goodbye. It's my new neighbor, AJ.
I know everything.
He knows everything. He's a musician, so now you know how much he knows.
He's coming over all the time, and I'm helping him. I've been helping him.
He's helping me a lot. So anyway, he's going to help me cut one of his doors off. But we're thrilled that he's our new neighbor, and if you remember I said I was worried who was going to move in. I'm not worried anymore. He and his wife Kyrie, they're awesome. I love them. So
Thank you.
things are good.
And check out.
Yeah, check out
no,
what?
I
What
don't
are
got
you
nothing.
say?
I don't got nothing to check.
Cut. So I was super excited that AJ moved in, and for the reasons mentioned above, he's super cool. He and his wife, you know what, got lucky, dodged a bullet. Let's take a look at the Honda. I'm trying to do a couple more step-by-steps than I did in the last Civic video because I got beat up for that. No step-by-steps. So you might gain a little bit of insight, knowledge, little thing up here in your noggin from watching the Redneck Garage. So let's take a look. Awesome. So at this point, what I'm going to do is try to test fit the radiator core support into the ears right here. It's got a curve to it, so they're kind of funky. And I'm going to set it up there and see if we can get it to fit up in there. And then we'll be in tall cotton, right? All right, here's my new Chinese radiator core support. And I think it's pretty close, really. All right, the edges of these got bent in shipping, so I've got to straighten these edges out on the ends. But other than that, it's looking really good. Right here, this little lip is hitting, so we're just going to trim that off just a hair. Now I'm going to clean up the ears here, where we're going to weld. Alright, let's do this last test fitting and see how it goes. Helps to have a wood block where you can just kind of tap on it. Alright, that's super cool. That's about where we want to be. It's up inside these ears here and over here, and of course now this is bent out where I took it apart. Now, I'll hammer that back down, but before I set this back in the last time, I'm going to use some weld through primer in it on the bare metal. So I'm going to use some Eastwood self-etching weld through gray primer. So not only is it self-etching, but it does have a weld through property to it. We're going to go ahead and spray all the parts that are bare metal before we put it back in for the last time and start doing some welding. Okay, so it's all primered up, ready to get some new metal slid over, and I'm going to go ahead and get the radiator core support put in, and then we should be able to start doing a little bit of welding. If you look down in this hole here, that's where the bolts go. There was two big bolts right there that held it in place. Both of those are lined up. I'm going to get my bolts put in. Then we should start being able to bend all this metal back where it's supposed to go, get it massaged, ready to spot weld back in. But even that feels pretty dang good right there. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get these 2 bolts started in the bottom. Because if those are lined up, we're in pretty much good shape. Okay, so we got these 2 bolts tightened down right here. You can see there's one, there's another one on the other side. But with those tightened down, you're fairly confident that this top section is where it needs to be. Looks like it fits well, so I'm going to take a hammer and we're going to be massaging that top portion to go back over the new radiator core support. You can see here we'll do some spot welds underneath, but I mean it's pretty solid right now with just those bolts. It looks really, really, really good. Okay, here's where it gets just a little dicey to get it lined up. Those brackets that hold the fender on, of course that fender was completely smashed, are off for just a hair, so I'm going to bend them back where I think they're supposed to go. And then we're going to test fit this new fender, because I'm trying to make sure that the radiator support is about where it needs to be, or if it needs to go forwards or backwards, because once you weld it, you're pretty much stuck with it and you're going to have to do more finagling to get it to fit. So I'm going to go ahead and get those brackets on the top here. This one and this one in the middle. There's another one right there. I'm going to try to straighten those out where I think they go, and we should be in better shape. Get that fender up there and see where the holes here line up with the fender. As long as we can get that on, we got a little wiggle room. But shaping up, shaping up. Randy's here!
With my friend Shelby.
That's right, Shelby. She still loves him.
Me.
She still loves him. What does your shirt say? Breathe easy, don't break the law.
Simple as that.
It is simple. Yeah. It's freaking simple.
Yep.
He came over to see the project, and I'm about ready to take a break, I tell you. But it's looking better.
Yeah.
Where were you this weekend?
College Station, Texas.
Oh.
At a fair rodeo.
Rodeo.
Yeah. Luckily the game wasn't there. The game was in Alabama.
Yeah. Well, there wasn't much to celebrate there if you were from
good trip.
Yeah. Huh?
It was a good trip, but depressing listening to the Titans football on the way home.
They suck. All right. Okay, we're going back to the car. Okay, I got that fender to line up exactly where it's supposed to be, but then over here, I can tell that I'm about maybe ½ inch, quarter inch off, so I'm going to have to work on getting this side of the radiator support in just a little bit before it's lined up correctly, and then I can start welding everything up together. Okay, I got it really, really close, so I've got this line here that needs to be welded and across the top, so I'm going to go ahead and get my welder out and see if we can start tacking some of this in. I got the jack underneath just to pull it up just a hair. It was like maybe 1/8 of an inch, a little bit low. So I picked it up there and it slid into place. Got the fender set on, so it should be ready to go. Sometimes you gotta get kind of creative when you're doing stuff like this. That is some guerrilla welding right there, but you know what? It's not gonna break, and it's better than it was before. Been up. I had to get some come-alongs and go right here up to the thing to pull it in that last little 1/8 of an inch, and once I did that, it was right exactly where it needed to be. Pulled it up with the farm jack, and that should be really, really close as far as like the alignment goes. Now I just got to wait for my hood to come in, and we will start putting this baby back together. I'm excited. Woo-wee! Alright, that's going to be it for tonight. I'm going to have me a blue moon. This thing's kicked my butt today, all the grinding and pushing and pulling and hammering and yanking. But got the radiator support in. Next thing I'm going to be doing some more welding, putting some pilot holes in, and welding the other side of the radiator support. Waiting for the hood hinges. I ordered a hood latch. So that stuff should be coming in here in the next day or two. We can start putting this thing back together and prepping it for paint. So it's coming along nicely. Keep watching. Maybe it'll end up being something. I'm Dave from the Redneck Garage. Key! Turning wrenches.